is what we're going to be concentrating on. In particular, at this time, we've got the beginnings of accurate pictures of London. And in particular, we have the first maps being made. I say maps, what we've got, the two main sources, as it were, for getting an image of London are the Agas map and something called the Civitatis Orbis Terrarum map, or the Civitatis map for short. And Civitatis Orbis Terrarum is Latin for maps of the world. So it's an atlas. And this is an atlas that's produced in 1572 in Cologne. And within its hundreds of maps of cities from around the world, it includes one of London. And the Agas map is a large map made from wood blocks. I should say that the Civitatis map is a copper plate. It's made from two copper plates and formed two leaves within the atlas. You'd open the atlas and you'd have this map of London. The Agas map is bigger. It's about 2 meters, I think, in length, and was made up of 8 wood blocks. And because woodblock engraving is cruder than engraving on metal, and metal engraving is much more expensive and the plates last a lot longer. And the Agas map itself is a little bit crude. And one of the things that when you see reproductions of it, you can see the joins between the wood blocks. So it's a little bit of a crude thing. But anyway, these are our two earliest images of London. The Agas map dates somewhere probably between 1561 and 1571. One interesting feature of both of these is that they both include the spire of St. Paul's, which was a very notable landmark and which was destroyed by lightning in 1561. They both derive from an original which is largely but not completely lost. And that original must have been a tremendously expensive product. It's known as the copper plate map. And we've got 3 surviving copper plates, which is one of the reasons we know about it. And it looks as though these 2 maps that I've spoken about are derived from that. And as I was saying, this is hugely important because it's the first kind of accurate map of London.
Yeah, and when you say about the 3 copper plates, you mean the 3 out of the 15 that survived?
Yes, and also so 3 out of 15, and also they're very badly eroded because they obviously were used a lot for printing, and also they've been reused. So the reason they've survived is that people repurposed the plates and used them for making a painting on the other side. So this is why the 3 plates have survived. But anyway, enough has come down to show that this was an incredibly expensive thing. It might well have been produced by Hanseatic merchants in the 1550s. They might have been presenting an elaborate gift to Philip II, who was the consort of Queen Mary, lobbying for a renewal of their privileges. When we say maps, the Civitatis map is the one that's closest to a map in the sense that the view is largely map-like. I say largely because it actually does your head in when you look at it, because the perspective moves around. The Agas map isn't by Agas, and it isn't a map. This is the kind of thing that historians love talking about. So Agas was a surveyor in the reign of Elizabeth, and the map was for a long time attributed to him, but it wasn't by him. And it's not really a map because it's done as a kind of view from an angle looking down at London. But nevertheless, they're both very, very accurate in terms of reproducing what was there, and therefore they're extremely interesting. And dominating both, obviously, is the River Thames. And you can see details of the Thames. And one of the things is that the London Bridge, which we'll come on to a little bit later on, I suspect, to downriver of the Thames to the east, you can see the Thames is quite well populated with large sailing ships. And then upriver from the Thames, things change because you've got small boats, not sailing ships. And one nice little detail is that, obviously deriving from the copper plate map, there's a little detail of a barge being pulled, and that is the royal barge making its way upriver.